Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here with the Broken Buddha. Today I want to talk really quick about the Yi-Jing or I-Ching, if you will. It won't be really quick, it'll be a little over 3 minutes, so it won't be in shorts, this will end up in videos. But I wanted to explain some things because I had a lot of things misconstrued and misunderstood about this. So we're talking about the I-Ching, or typically known as the Book of Changes. I prefer to call it Yi-Jing because it's technically it would be translated as the essence of change. And I stayed out of this book for a really long time because it's known as a divinatory or divination text, meaning that you can see the future, predict the future. And I don't like divination. I think divination is stupid because as soon as you know what's going to happen in the future, you're going to mess it up or change what's going to happen in the future. Somebody could tell you something that might happen in the future, but as soon as you know, that's no longer going to happen. Like not exactly like that because you now know something different than you did before that. That's just my opinion, and I think it's just dumb. It just doesn't work like that. So I realized after studying, and I forgot why did I get into the I was on. I've been on a really big kick with Taoism, and my studies just straight up, not stories, myths, deities, none of that. Just the actual instructions on how to merge with the unknown Tao, all that is. And I decided to give it a shot because I was having a hard time, and I forgot exactly what called me to it, but it's been amazing. And I wouldn't it's technically divining, but I wouldn't call it divination because you're not trying to predict the future. You're trying to understand change, and you're trying to make a choice based on yourself understanding change. I will say it's gotten a little creepy at times with what I will ask and then understand and then make a decision based on my understanding. But you know, the idea that you're using something other than God as monotheist, panentheistic, I don't agree because if you understand the idea of how all, I mean, even if you're just you know a nihilist and you understand how all of existence came from a void pre-Big Bang, then you understand how all of this came from a single void and then even from a single entity and beyond that. So you know, even us just having this conversation is miraculously coincidental because so many things happened, naturally, scientifically, between our ancestors and our ancestors' lives. I mean, you know how tumultuous your life is. Can you imagine how much coincidence has to occur for you to be even able to watch this video and for us to have this interaction? It's stinking miraculous. So when you're tossing when you're pulling your Euro stocks or tossing your coins, that is something that is not only starting from the void of emptiness of Tao and leading to now. It's also everything within you, within the coins, around you, around the coins is part of that void. And not only just a projection, but in actuality too. So, and the reason I wanted to mention that is because it's not magic, it's not coincidence. I mean, I guess I'd say it's somewhere between fate and coincidence, but it's, if anything, it's your faith allowing you to have confidence in what you're doing. It's hard to have confidence in those things, and if you don't have faith, you know things like tarot cards, I-Ching, it's all just a joke to you. It's all a game. It's just like, ha, let's see. And you might experience something magical, but you're going to test that magic to yourself. And you see a lot of people who read tarot and I-Ching and psychics that attest the skills to themselves. But like their first two bits came from two other people, and eventually they will disintegrate into nothing. So I don't know what the self is that they're attesting this skill to. Um, yeah, we're like clouds, man. We come and we go. It's real quick. So anyway, I wanted to share that stuff. Some of it was philosophical. I got a little carried away there religiously, but I had to make this video to clear things up. Um, there were other books of understanding the essence of change before this. To my understanding, there were two. But I mean, when you get into those, you're talking about like some real mythical, esoteric stuff, which I agree to some extent and understand, but I don't expect anybody else to. And even this one reaches into, when you talk about King Wen, some people say King Wen is like some archetypal, like all man character instead of like an actual person, and I don't buy it. Like, especially because they got a lot of people are involved in the current Yi-Jing that people study. You've got whoever they say, Lao Tzu or Lao Jun wrote it, and then they say it existed before him, and then King Wen did the decisions. His son did the Yao lines. Confucius, who was Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu's student, did the commentary on the original decisions. But the decisions, they say are Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu, but typically you're not gonna. He kind of doesn't take credit for anything if you ever study this kind of stuff. So it's technically, some people say it was created by him, but he would more than likely say that it wasn't created by him. He was just passing it through time, which is pretty normal to what I understand in my religious studies. And then after that, of course, like I said, you have his student Confucius, which if you don't know, Confucius was Lao Tzu's student, Lao Tzu. I want to clear up one thing real quick before I move forward. All the research I've done showed that the guy's name was actually Lao Dan. The Lao Jun and Lao Chi, Lao Chu, those are all titles. And it drives me bananas to try to explain these things to people, but I just wanted to say that once here because I've never seen it said anywhere else other than books. Lao Dan was the guy's name. His title or deification shouldn't have anything to do with these things. Okay, now that I'm done that little rant. And then again, his student was Confucius, and then King Wen used it to name some of the decisions. All right, I'm messing up here. The decisions came from Lao Dan or Lao Tzu. The commentary came from Confucius. King Wen also did commentary on the hexagrams, and then his son did the commentary on each Yao and Yao line and changing of the Yao lines. And then, of course, there's commentaries based on the 10 wings on those things too. Anyway, sorry. This video is getting way too complex, but I just really wanted to get you guys the idea that it's not divination. You're not doing anything magic. You're not working with anybody but God, Goddess, all it is, whatever you want to call it, the universe. Yeah, so it's just a thing, and you either have the faith to do something like this or you don't. And at the end of the day, your decisions and accepting the decisions you make on this and understanding your decisions on this are going to be based in faith. And from one of the things I do know from studying this is that the original times when you would do Yi-Jing with somebody divining for you, you really had to trust each other because obviously the person working with the sage or shaman or whatever to do the divining has to have tons of faith, but the shaman or sage also has to have faith in the person and to be honest with them about their life. I mean, because you don't want to tell a holy man like, yeah, man, I'm a piece of crap and I do all these piece of crap things, but we need to know everything if you want us to help you with that. And and if you're just divining for yourself, you need to be honest with yourself if you're going to ask the all that is to back you up and help you with a decision or two. One thing I'll go out on this note saying is I've met a lot of interesting and insane people in my life. Some people claim to be able to hear and or talk to God. Some people, I'm going to say probably may be able to. I don't know. I don't like to confirm those things because I don't hear voices and I don't see things. I honestly see the Yi-Jing as a way to level the playing field against those who can. When you can confer with your faith within and with the thing that is all that is, then you're really, it doesn't give you a leg up. It just levels the playing field. And most of those people, in my opinion, I've never met anybody yet who uses those skills for good or doesn't end up in some like gutter situation or drugged out situation or got it from doing a drugged out or gutter situation. So I just wanted to mention that too. Don't see it so much as this like hardcore superiority thing. I mean, if anything, you're just bringing yourself up to the level with people who have like skills and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, and also if you're not on the level with your virtue and everything else and your Taoism or your religious virtue and ethics, it's probably not going to go well. And you at that point, I don't know what you're being guided by. I know I have my faith in the panentheistic, monotheistic, all that is, but I don't know what you believe. And whatever you believe, I mean, if you believe in your own ego, like a Satanist or a garbage Taoist who doesn't actually understand Taoism, then you're going to be guided by your ego. You're not going to be getting guided by God. And you may make some really gnarly choices and might hurt some people and see some benefit out of it, but it's not what it is, man. So be careful, Don't worry about it being a bad thing, but be careful if you are going to use it if your intentions are like desire filling or to bring yourself up or to get rich. Like, you should be only communicating. You're asking something you can't understand to help you understand through the essence of change. That's it. And I'm going to go out on that note. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy it, I hope it was at least informative. Thank you for your time and stopping by the Broken Buddha. Peace and blessings.